this video will explain how to translate predicate statements that involve the word only at the beginning of the sentence. So for example, suppose we have the statement, only mammals are marsupials. So we start, as always, by identifying the predicates in the statement. So we have MX stands for X is a mammal, and SX stands for X is a marsupial. Then what we do, and this is going to seem a little counterintuitive, but we take what seems to be the subject of the sentence and we make it the consequent of the conditional under the universal quantifier. And then we take what seems to be what's being said about the subject and we make that the antecedent of the conditional. So, in effect, when you see a statement that says only SRP, what you do is you switch the S and the P around and you make it a universal statement. So, a statement of the form only SRP would be translated as for all X, if it's a PX, then SX. So why is this? Why isn't the translation for all X, if MX, then SX? Well, because then it would say all mammals are marsupials, which is a false statement because we know lots of animals that are not marsupials. For example, I am a mammal, but I am not, sadly, not a marsupial. But the original statement, only mammals are marsupials, is a true statement. It's true that only mammals are marsupials. It's just false that all mammals are marsupials. So we translate it as, we can say, for all X, if it's a marsupial, then we know it's a mammal. And that's still true. So it should be very suspicious to us if we translate what seems to be a true English sentence and we get into a symbolic formula and we get what would be a false statement. Then we know we're doing something wrong. So that's why we translate it as for all X, if SX, then MX. Alternatively, if that kind of doesn't make sense to your brain, another way that you could translate it would be to say, for all X, if it's not a mammal, then it's not a marsupial. Because that would be logically equivalent. So, if it's not a mammal, then it's not a marsupial, because only mammals are marsupials. So if that kind of formulation makes more sense to you, that's fine too. So, either translate it as for all X, if not MX, then not SX, or as for all X, if SX, then MX. Either of those is fine, but for all X, if MX, then SX, that is right out as a translation for only mammals are marsupials.